Hello everyone, and thank you for your interest in our video on historical female protest in Leningrad and current initiatives in Belarus. The Ettersberg Foundation, based in Weimar and Erfurt, Germany, has a strong interest in the history of dictatorships and current struggles for democracy. Our Memorial and Education Center, Andreasstraße in Erfurt, currently hosts an exhibition on female underground publications in the former Soviet Union. You will find all information on this at our website and on our social media channels. But the struggle for democracy did not end with the demise of the Soviet Union 30 years ago. Especially the news from Belarus about the violent crackdown on protests following the rigged presidential election of last year demonstrate the need for democratic process and people's participation in government. Again, as with the women in Leningrad in the late 1970s, women in Minsk are on the front line of protest and make their voices heard. I'm therefore very glad that the political and civil society activist Julia Mickiewicz is with me to talk about the particular role of women in the current political and societal situation in Belarus. Julia Mickiewicz is a co-founder of the feminist group within the Belarusian Coordination Council and Secretary General of the Organization of Popular Education ABF Belarus. She is the coordinator of the Gender Equality subgroup of the Belarusian National Platform of the Eastern Partnership Civil Society Forum. Julia Mickiewicz holds degrees in journalism from the Belarusian State University in Minsk and in gender studies from the European Humanities University in Vilnius, Lithuania, and worked as a journalist in many fields. In 2009, she was awarded a Journalism Award for promoting the human rights situation of LGBT persons in Belarus. In 2011, she was awarded the Jim Cammy Social Justice Award of the Irish Labour Party. We are very happy to have you here with us today, Julia, and thank you for taking the time. And
thank you, and thank you for inviting me. It's a big honor.
Thank you. To start out, since this is just a very brief format, and you told me you could talk for hours about this, and it would also, of course, interest us. Many people, especially in Germany, do not know about the situation of the Belarusian society with regards to gender equality or female emancipation. Could you just tell us a few ideas and a few basic background information?
Okay, historically, women made and had a great role in different spheres, especially in their families, and they worked in different spheres, but of course stereotypes, gender stereotypes about gender roles are quite narrow for women roles. But anyway, during this part of when Belarus became independent state from the 90s, we had different women and gender organizations were enough strong. But unfortunately, we have a very contradictory state policy according to the gender equality issue. Because if you look at the European Index of Gender Equality, you can see that Belarus has a quite high position in this. But this is because state or governmental structures, they didn't send the information about, let's say, very hard fields. Something, for instance, about domestic violence. This is a very big problem in Belarus. And you know that for many years, more than 15 women organizations tried to promote this law against domestic violence, and it was completely done in 2018, but unfortunately President Lukashenko, he just consult this just by his hand. And today, Belarus is the only country within the not only European countries but also in other post-Soviet countries who doesn't have any gender equality legislation and any legislation to resist domestic violence. And also, of course, we have problems with like glass ceiling for women, for those who want to be politically active, for those who want to have more than these traditional gender roles.
Thank you very much for that. Having this background and knowing about the gender inequality in Belarus, it was very surprising to see for German spectators, for example, to see the role of women during the protest that we have seen since the rigged election of last year, the presidential election. So what role do women in particular, or female organizations, feminist organizations, play in these protests?
Okay, it was really very surprising for all of us here as well, but not only because of this, women participation, but the whole protest itself. But as I said before, women were very active during all these years, not only in this female or feminist organization, but in the whole society. But why they became so active during this protest? I guess it's because of they got this opportunity to be visual, got this opportunity to be very politically active and to have the great impact they done, by the way. And because, first of all, exactly women who changed the format of this protest, because it was directly after these 3 days of the unprecedented violence from 9th till 11th, the next day of this, women have decided to make these actions of solidarity for peace. It was like the only demand to the authority stop all the state violence against peaceful protesters. And I guess it was very interesting because authorities, they didn't know how to react. Maybe they wanted also, like to block this or to crack down and to arrest all of us, but they couldn't do this. And that's why women changed the agenda of this protest. They showed us not only the social group, but the whole society that we demand to have a new political situation and to have a new elections, of course. But the main thing, I guess, that even in the beginning, women, most of them, not all of them, but most of them, they made these actions for those who were beaten and arrested, let's say for their brothers, husbands, and so on. But then they became more for themselves. I mean, we got the first femme column in this first Sunday female rally. And also LGBTQ people who have their own queer column, and they were demanding of something that related exactly to the feminist approach or gender equality.
Thank you for this. I know there is so much more to elaborate on, but just for a starting point, you give us some ideas where to pick up and what ideas to follow and what to look for in the news we see. And you described a process of emancipation, basically. As you said, during the years, females were not as represented as they are in society, in politics especially. And now the situation is changing. So do you believe that this democratization process, which will hopefully occur, as the result of protests, either quickly or slower, but that society will change. Will this also include gender equality, and will it affect society beyond politics?
So I really do believe in this, but because democratization as well as gender equality is a process, and we really don't know how long it will last. I prefer maybe to get result or outcome of this as soon as possible, but I really do understand that it's sometimes you need even to have more time to get the real result. But you know, when we created our feminist group within the coordinational councils, we did it exactly because we understood that protest is a very good step. It's very important, but it's not enough for making progress in democracy, and especially in this gender equality topic. And now we see that unfortunately not all the political opposition have this vision like we. I mean that the gender equality, there is no gender equality as a priority in the politics or in the policy or in the actions of for instance, Svetlana Tikhanovskaya staff. They explained it because there are there are many more important questions. But we know this rhetorics, you know, for many years as well. Okay, gender equality can wait, but no, this is not like that. We are sure that gender equality can't wait. That's why we within our feminist group, what by the way consists of different women from different organizations, or like female single activists, or from different regions, and even from those women who never before being politically active or civil society active, but now they got this, you know, opportunity, and they got this signal that they could be, you know, it's like in this famous poster, we can do it. Yes, now we know, and this protest became a very good platform for all of us to unite our resources, to unite our efforts, to promote and continue trying to fight with this, because yes, we know that gender sensitivity is not for many people who can say that yes, I'm like this, and awareness of this issue is also maybe not so high. I even would say that it's low, but different steps for this: education, of course, and rising of awareness about why political and civil participation for women so important, why empowerment plays very big role, not only for women. And the main question, you know, Christian, that still we have, you know, this stereotype that gender equality, it's only about women problems, or not even rights, but even, you know, affairs, even problems or something like that. But we would like to show and to have this vision in the future that gender equality is about democracy, is about social justice for everyone, for first of all for vulnerable social groups within the society. That's very important to get knowledge about this to the society, to broad society. I mean, not only civil society in Belarus. But you know what? Also very important to me, all these events, they showed us that people are ready to change faster than we think about this, and faster than politicians can do that. And this is very optimistical to me personally.
Well, that sounds like a very positive outlook, but you're right. It takes some courageous steps for society to change. And if one of the immediate results is that women and marginalized groups have now a stronger standpoint on the political map of Belarus, then this is one first success. And I think your insights, as you just said towards the end, reveal once more that democratization can only flourish in emancipated societies where all members are heard. And we are sending our best wishes to the Belarusian people. And we will hope that the political regime will include all of its citizens in the future decision-making process. And this is something that goes beyond Belarus, that goes beyond the questions we have just briefly touched upon. And it sounds very promising to hear someone who has been courageous and who has also seen the dark side of protest and who has been incarcerated speak up with a vision of hope. And yes, we just wish you all the best, and thank you for your time and effort again, and for your courage in this.
And thank you also, and I would like also to say thank you again for international support, because it's also a very big moment and very big sign for us, and when we know and we feel that you support us. Thank you so much.